Hello, my name's Duncan Enright. I'm the Labour and Cooperative Party candidate in the elections on Thursday. Now, based on last time's results, it's going to be a straight fight between myself and the Conservative candidate in the district and county council elections. And I just wanted you to know that in Wood Green School, there are more registered voters in the sixth form than there were votes in my majority last time. So it really is very close, and your votes will count. They'll make a big difference. It's an enjoyable thing to do. It's your civic duty. So I hope you enjoy going to the polls on Thursday. I wanted to talk about some of the things that I would do as part of a Labour group of councillors and that address the questions you sent to me.
About the high streets. Now, one of the problems is the council don't own the shops. We don't set the rents. For instance, Marriott's Walk here, this is owned by Deutsche Bank, although the council does have a stake and has importantly influence. So what we want to do is to fill the shops with things like the shop here, which is local traders working together. What we can also do is promote Whitney as a place for visitors to come and shop. And what we want to do is to make sure that there are no empty shops in Whitney.
On flooding, I know exactly the problem. We were flooded out 10 years ago and had to spend almost a year out of our own house. What we need is a better emergency plan, which tells us when floods are likely and tells us what activity to take, what action to take. We also need help for each individual household that's going to be affected by the flooding. But more importantly, we need to tackle the climate emergency, which is behind the more increased frequency of flooding. On criminal and drug activity, we know that there are bigger issues here than any councillor can solve. But what we can do locally is make sure that the police are well resourced, but also that youth services are in place, and those have been cut horribly in the last 10 years. We want to make sure that there are plenty of support opportunities and that people get the support they need at the right time. On the roads and traffic in town, I want to take all the through traffic out of town by putting a four-way junction in at Shaw's Green, which is at the top of Oxford Hill. So that would mean that people would use the A40 rather than go through the middle of town. We also want to spend more money, if we can, as well, on walking and cycling options, because everybody who walks and cycles into town means one less car.
How would you commit to engaging young people in local politics?
Now, it's difficult to get into politics. If you're like me and you were born into a political family, it's a bit easier. But it's hard to get a grasp of what's going on. Some of the work that goes on at Wood Green, I think, in terms of sort of debating and also understanding local issues, can help with that. But also, I'll be really happy to hear from anybody who's interested in hearing from the Labour Party and finding out more about what we want to do. And again, your Labour Town Council is very keen to engage you. We have a youth council in town, and we really want to work with them, for example, on zero carbon. Our ambition here in Whitney is to get to zero carbon by 2028. And we think that younger people are the most important in this, because it's you guys who are going to have to live with all of this and help clean it up. So if anybody's interested, though, please just get in touch with me. I'll be really happy to talk to you about it. I do try to come into the school very often, but of course it's not possible at the moment, unfortunately. But as soon as I can, I'd love to come in and just give you a briefing on what's happening across the town and in the councils.